on part 2, and I'll be explaining the history of Nihonshu. Before I start, have any of you seen this scene? Do you know where this scene is from? So this scene is from the movie called Your Name, Kimi no Nawa, which was released in 2016. And the type of alcohol displayed here is called Kuchikamizake, and it is the origin of Nihonshu. However, the first liquor in Japan was not Nihonshu. So let's take a look at the history of Nihonshu. Please watch this video.
Let me take you back to 12,000 years ago. Something was discovered from the Jomon-jidai pottery. Do you know what is it? So actually, the Jomon period pottery uses a chemical reaction which is quite hardening for to be stepped, and it is called the oldest pottery in the world and the first chemical product of humankind. So the something that was discovered from the Jomon pottery were grapes. The first liquor in Japan was not Nihonshu, but wine. So then, when did Nihonshu making started? So around 2,500 to 18,000 years ago, Nihonshu brewing began with a rice farming tradition from China. Kuchikamizake, which I mentioned before, that appears in your name, appears around this time. Kuchi means mouth and kami means chewing. So Kuchikamizake is sake that is made from putting rice in your mouth, chewing it, and spitting it out. Then you will leave it as it is. So the role of Nihonshu in this era was a special drink dedicated to God and the emperor. So mainly it's for a good harvest. The shrine medium is called Miko, who does religion and God-related work. Kuchikamizake are also made by Miko. Now let's compare the relationship between Nihonshu, wine, and God. So red wine symbolizes the blood of Christianity. Because of Christianity, red wine spreads all over the world. In Japan, in 1549, Francis Xavier came to Kagoshima and explained what wine was, and you had to drink wine for the baptism of Christians. So, Francis Xavier performed Christian missionary work. Therefore, wine spreads along with Christianity in Japan. On the other hand, Nihonshu was used to playing for a good harvest. There is an idea that there are multiple gods in Japan. Since ancient times, Japanese people have lived through nature by farming, fishing, and rice cultivation. In Japan, Yaoyorozu no Kami means 8 million gods because of its number and variety, including gods of the sea, gods of the mountains, gods of business and learning, and others. Yaoyorozu no Kami is a word that symbolizes how close God is to our daily lives. It is an ancient Japanese way of thinking that you can feel God in all of things, so similar to Shinto. Next, around 13,000 to 12,000 years ago, Koji was introduced from China. Nihonshu brewing began around this time. So Nihonshu also has a strong relationship with religion, shrine rituals, and politics. So the position of Nihonshu has gradually changed from something dedicated to God to something that ordinary people can also enjoy. 800 to 700 years ago, Nihonshu started to get widely distributed, but due to the fact that there were cases of samurai drinking too much alcohol, which then resulted into bad health conditions and even acts of killing, a prohibition was politicized in 1252, and as a result, the Nihonshu industry became stagnant. 700 to 500 years ago, the shogunate or bakufu realized that the liquor tax was a strong source of revenue. Let me take you back to 12,000 years ago. Something was discovered from the German root is the same as it is now. Then, during the Nichiro and Nishin War, liquor tax accounted for 30% of the national revenue, so it is quite a lot. Currently, it is only about 3%, so it was actually 10 times more before. Nihonshu prospered since the beginning, but at that time it was sold by weight in barrels and boxes, and some people tried to dilute it with water to increase the content. As a countermeasure to this, the ishobin bottle was created. Then 100 to 30 years ago, the vertical rice mill was invented, and Ginjoshu, which is said to be the best kind of Nihonshu, was created.
Okay, how was the video? If you like it, please leave the thumbs up stamp in the Facebook comment. So in this way, Nihonshu has changed, and now Nihonshu is one of the fancy alcohol to enjoy. 40 to 50 years ago, Nihonshu was often treated as cheap liquor to get drunk with. But recently, Nihonshu has been enjoying using a wine glass, and modern bottle designs are becoming more popular. From the aspect of export, the export value of Nihonshu is increasing year by year. When Japanese food was registered as World Intangible Cultural Heritage in 2013, Nihonshu, which is deeply related to Japanese food culture, has been attracting attention, and its name has spread overseas along with Japanese food. Hugh Jackman and Lady Gaga are famous for being major Japan lovers. For Nihonshu, Cameron Diaz and Russell Crowe are representative celebrities. Russell Crowe is known for his love of Nihonshu, with the episode of extending his visit to Japan because he wants to drink Nihonshu. The country where Nihonshu is exported most is the United States, followed by South Korea and Taiwan. The United States accounts for 25% of export destinations, but not so much in terms of quantity. This is because the export volume of Nihonshu is only about 2% of the production volume. In the case of Italian wine, 40% of the total production is exported. Comparing Nihonshu and wine in this way, we can see that Nihonshu still has potential for export. Did you find the country very unique? Please look for Nihonshu at Japanese restaurants and liquor stores.